Nice to see some faces. Hope everyone's doing well. My 30-day live ban has just been lifted. So, not that I've ever done a live, and not that I ever plan to do a live video. It's not really my style, but it's the only thing I can do on Facebook, because Facebook's a fucking piece of shit. And yeah, isn't it interesting how so many people right now are moving to different platforms? Timely, really timely, because it's not like that's planned or anything. Splitting everyone up into different rooms during the Great Divide. It's really interesting to watch everything happening. And I knew 15 years ago that this is exactly where I'd be today. And I knew that people before me, right in front of me, wouldn't know what was going on in the world. And I knew it in my heart that I had to be that person that would be there, because I saw everything with clarity. And all of these people, and I'm sorry, but most of you, 3 or 4 years ago, you just come on board with a little bit of time up your sleeves, busy working, busy doing as much as you could to struggle on through like everyone else. And it's made like that. Minimum wage has stayed the same for decades, and everything else goes up in price. Electricity, water, petrol, everything. But we don't think about how planned this is to make everything so unaffordable and such a struggle at a time when the Great Collapse is here. The planned Great Collapse. What some are referring to as the Great Reset. And it's not the first time they've ever done the Great Reset. This is the first time in 100 years. They do it every 100 years. Know your history, people. Know your history. Know her story. Because she speaks loud and clear. And you think that all these lakes around the world are natural bodies of water? Wake up. They're all bomb detonations. Empty cities filled with water. And I don't want you to know that. I don't want you to know anything like this. And you go and study geology at university, their university. And what do you learn? You learn all the different types of rocks. And you learn, without question, you get your degree. And what do you know about geology when you're a qualified geologist? Because they don't want you to know that every city in the world, most of the biggest cities in the world, they weren't built in 1902, 1890. All those big signs up with the year of when they were built. No, they weren't. They weren't built then at all. That's just when the numbers were added. And all of these cities, we're in the Great Reset right now. I did a post about 2 months ago. I did a post, and I got around about 60 newspaper articles from all the different countries of the world. The Great Reset is here, but everyone's sitting at home and they don't know what's going on. You think Trump's here to save us? Trump is designed to be where he is today. And if you don't know that, you're in for a big shock, a big surprise. And I knew this. It's not my guess. I'm not taking any guesses here. I didn't come onto Facebook to take guesses. There's no guesses here. I knew what was going down right now. And all I ever wanted to do was to show the world what is to be known. And what is to be known? Everything. Everything is to be known. There's nothing new under the sun at all. These sayings don't come from nowhere. So, where are we today? Because I'm busy living my life. Everyone's busy living their life. Everyone's got something to do. But are we where we want to be? Because if you are in a place where you are not sure that it's where you want to be, it's not where you want to be, you're in a lot of trouble. You are in a lot of trouble if you are somewhere that you're not sure where to be, because we came here to know everything that's needed to be known. Why do you think the shamans of every culture would take one medicine and they knew everything? They didn't go to university. They never studied anything on the internet. They have the internet, the real internet. And we have to question everything. Quest I on. It's the quest you're on to find the answer. Do we have the answer? We need to know everything. So, to everyone who's ever sent me questions about Trump, I'm sorry I never replied, because I couldn't give a fuck about any of that, because I knew that it was coming, that there would be an inquisition. I knew who wrote the Bible. I knew it. I was going into churches when I was 20, telling people that Adam and Eve never walked through the Garden of Eden, that the Garden of Eden is in here, and the tree in the middle of the garden is the tree of life, the tree of knowledge, the forbidden fruit. And if you think that the third eye is not the tree in the middle of the garden, your brain being the garden, you're an idiot. Because we came here to know everything. And I don't mean to offend anybody. I'm just trying to give you a little last push in the times of known, because we are in the times of known. I already knew this was coming, because it's not the first time. And I don't open my book and, oh, look, it's a bit of history from the ABC bookshop, BBC bookshop, SBS bookshop, CBS, whatever. Any of the magical acronyms. We have 3 eyes, 2 for looking and 1 for seeing. It's so true, Jackie. And it's funny how it's called the third eye, because it's the first eye that forms in the brain when you're in the mother's womb, before you come out to mother womb in the external world. And that first eye has a retina. Inside our skull has a retina. And that's why the skull doesn't close. It's an open hole right at the top here until the age of 8 when it closes. Because before the age of 8, you are the most psychical person you could ever come to be. And I wonder if that has any relevance to it. It's the truth. And there's a reason why every culture on the planet has the initiation of the soul around that age, because they shock that pineal gland right away. Look at all these people running around talking about how to decalcify their pineal glands and how to have ascension and all this fucking bullshit. Any of you out there, all the people that believe that you've opened up your third eye, your first eye, Because if you opened it and shocked it open, no one can lie to you. You can look at anybody. When the eye is clear, vision, and you can see everything, no one can lie to you. No one can lie to me. And that's been a dilemma in my life, because as soon as someone lies to me, I could be in a relationship for a year. As soon as someone lies to me, see you later. Friendships, anything. I'm not here to give chances. I'm here to keep moving. And I'm not saying that this is how people should live their life. I'm not saying that you shouldn't forgive people, because I've got a video on the science of forgiveness. There's something that happens in the inner portals of the world of the person that we must take a vow to do. We must forgive everybody. But I'm not here to sit around and have a cup of tea with someone who's going to treat me in such a way. So I'm really proud that no one can lie to me. And for me, it's helped me a lot to have this tool to navigate through the occult portals of life. And so here we are with a world of people who don't know what to believe. And you didn't know Trump was Jesuit trained. Look at every single university he's been to, all Jesuit universities. Do you even know what a Jesuit is? The Nagasaki bombings, Hiroshima bombings, you think they dropped those fucking things out of the air? You believe the narrative? You believe they dropped atomic bombs out of the planes, and you think they were detonations from above? 5 Jesuit physicists were camped out 5 blocks away from where the Nagasaki bomb went off. When I was 23, 24, I would always watching, open sight, always watching where the Jesuit Superior General was going. And every single time he landed in the province, in the Jesuit provincial of any country, there would either be, within 2 weeks, a tsunami, bushfires, landslides, fallen economy, tornadoes, massacre. And who do you think changed the meaning in the dictionary of the word Jesuit? Who do you think changed the meaning in the Merriam-Webster dictionary of the word Jesuit? The original meaning was tyranny, assassination, because everyone knew that every assassination that occurred was at the hands of the Jesuits, the Vatican. Why do you think I'm banned on Facebook? Shadow banned. I'll probably never be able to make a post where anyone can see it ever again, because I talked about the Vatican. Do you understand? Do you understand what happens when you talk about the Inquisition before the Inquisition starts? And I'm not scared. I know I get a lot of questions. A lot of people ask me, are you scared of the information that you have? And you can see it in me. You can see that I'm not scared. When someone comes up to me in the street and says something to me to try and make me scared, nothing scares me, because I actually lived in fear from what I was doing for a long time. And it's called living your truth. It's not my truth, it's everyone's truth. And if you know, like I get people messaging me all the time. I can't reply to like most of the messages that I get on Facebook because I don't have the time, because I dedicate most of my time to myself, as we all should. I get a lot of people that ask if I'm scared of what I talk about. No, I'm not scared of what I talk about, and I'm scared for you. I'm scared for your future because you don't know what I'm talking about. So, if you don't understand that this is probably my last ever post on Facebook, because I don't know what's going to happen to my account after this. The Vatican rules the world. The Roman Empire never fell. Vatican means divining serpent, Vaticanus. Originally it was the hill of Janus, and Janus is the two-headed beast. January looks into the last year, into the future. And it's the largest human sacrifice ground on the earth. The city of bones, the city of the death cult. And if you think that inquisitions occur because some people just need to control, well, the banks are in control because they want money. Yeah, the governments and the corporations, yeah, they just want money. No. It's not about money. It's not about greed. It's not about control. It is all about ritual. Ritual. It's all rite of passage. Do we remember? Every single thing the church does is ritual. Have you seen all the people getting their vaccinations in the United Kingdom in the cathedral while the organs are playing? It's all ritual. And there's so many things that I could say, but I don't want to come across in the wrong way, because some people get hurt really easy, and I'm not here to hurt people. I'm here to raise everyone to their highest capacity and be like, hey man, let's get the fuck out of here. Like, you have this dream of living self-sufficiently, but you're not doing it. So why aren't you doing it? Oh, because I can't action. I just need a little bit more money. I need to support my family. And no, there's so many excuses that then they're not relevant. So yeah, what else do I want to say? I want to say everything. I've just got so much to say. Every single person wants the best for everybody, deep down, everyone. So who's causing all of this trouble? 30,000 troops. 30,000 troops in Washington, D.C., District of Columbia. Columbia is another name for Isis. Isis is the moon goddess. The most ancient symbol for Isis is the dollar sign, the I with the S through it. And you wonder why it's the symbol of the dollar? Because it's money. Mon, moon, Isis, moon goddess. So you wonder who Queen Elizabeth is on the coins? It's not Queen Elizabeth II, it's Queen Elizabeth the Two Pillars. Solar, lunar, Saturn in the middle. And we're all the solars and the lunars, we're the liberals and the labours, we're either pillar of the Kabbalah, lost, completely lost. As the occult that rules the world, they walk the middle path in between both pillars. That's why they're Satanian, because they are astrologers, and they understand how astrology works. They understand how astrology works. And I don't care who's listening to this when I say this. You think that everyone's under a spell? How about you? How about where you stand as an astrologer that comes out and makes all these posts about where we are astrologically? You're following tropical astrology. You're following Western Vatican astrology that was given to us. Isn't it really interesting how every single person that follows astrology, they're all looking down at a chart? Do you know every single astrologer, 1800 and prior, they all had telescopes. Do you know why every astrologer had a telescope? Why did every single Vatican astrologer, astronomy is a new word. Let's talk astrology, because what's happening right now is astrological. Why does every Vatican priest use a telescope when they're looking at the stars? How many astrologers do you know? How many astrologers do you know that use a telescope when they're looking up? Because when you look up at the stars, you can see the house placements. You can see everything for your eye. No one can fool you, because the eye only sees what the eye wants to see, and it's always accurate. Only believe what you can see. So when you're looking down your astrological chart and you're like, oh wow, this is where we are right now. No, it's up. So tropical astrologers following lies, 27 degrees out. tropical astrology, Western Vatican astrology, is 27 degrees out. A full house in the zodiac is 30 degrees. Doesn't sound good to me. So where are we right now? Because I posted, just before I got blocked, I was posting a little bit about alchemical astrology and how we're heading into the Mars transition into Aries on the 6th of January. So I wrote a post about a month ago, 3 weeks ago, saying that Mars was going into Aries, and all the tropical astrologers were saying, no, we're in Taurus, we're going into Taurus, look up, there it is, Mars is in Aries, can you see? There it is. So what does that mean? Because Mars is the god of war, and Mars governs Aries. No, it can't be possible that every single thing that the Jesuits do is astrological. So it is. And I set up for 6 weeks after January the 6th. It's going to be an interesting ride. 30,000 troops in Washington, D.C., Columbia, ISIS. Hence why Columbia TriStar is ISIS. Look at the film production label. Columbia TriStar is ISIS. Hence why the logo sits right above the I and the S, because it's ISIS. So everything we have right now, whether you are left pillar, right pillar, you're not walking the center path, you are not illuminated. You don't have any vision. I could spin you anything and you'd believe it. But can we disseminate truly lies? Because we need to. We need to know that everything's theatre. The original name for Hollywood is Roman Catholic Theatre, Jesuit theatre. There's not much else that needs to be said. And there's not much else that needs to be said when we can see clearly that media is under entertainment law. So there's no legalities. There's no nature that shows that they have to legally tell the truth. They can tell you anything they want you to hear. And it's purely entertainment. There's no policy on misleading people in the media. That's how it's been set up. It's really, really beautiful and really clever. When you look at how everything's being conducted, it's all perfect. And then when you look at how everybody in society is walking out their days, it's all chaos. Like, there's nothing to it. I personally, I don't spend more than 1 or 2 minutes with most people out there because it's not that I don't have time. I just don't have the capacity. I wouldn't be where I am today if I spent my time with most of the people that just believe everything they want to believe. I wouldn't taint my energy. I keep moving. So yeah, I think that one thing we all need to know right now is that the devil wears Prada. And there's a reason why this saying came about. There's a reason why, like, the reason why I got banned from Facebook is because I posted a status saying that Inquisition was here. Like, surely don't ban someone for that. Just lock them in a mental asylum or something if it's a non-truth. So I'd love to question you. Do you, not whether you believe or not, do you know that we are in the middle of the Inquisition, an ecclesiastical, church-born Inquisition, right now? That's deep. Because if that's true, it's true. If that's true, where are we heading to? Where are we going if we are in the middle of the beginning of the Inquisition? Who do you trust? Who do you turn to when you don't know yourself? Know thyself. It's like where we are right now. I hate to sound like I don't have faith that... Okay, I'll say it like this. So, in the 17th century, what they're doing right now, they tried in the mid-17th century. They tried to take over every single continent on the planet and hand all of the land to the Pope, so the Pope could say, I am Caesar, I rule again, and you all take my doctrine. Do you know that's where we're going to right now? We are heading into the amalgamation of Islam and Catholicism into one. Do you know that that's what they want to do? Do you know who created the United Nations? Do you know the original United Nations was called the League of Nations? Same flag. And do you know what it was called before that? Do we remember what the League of Nations, the United Nations, was called prior to that? It was called the Roman Empire. Same flag, same symbols, same hierarchy. Common law comes from Roman canon law. Canonists are the priests that practice the law. Business law, Uniform Commercial Code, UCC, comes from Vatican Roman canon law, run by the Roman couriers. We are in the middle of the Roman Empire. What does it mean? Because I just see it, and it breaks my heart that people can't see it. So in the 1700s, they tried to take every single continent to the Pope. And do you know what happened in the 17th century because of this? Every single practicing Jesuit in Parliament worldwide was expelled. And they were all removed because we knew what they were doing. And so they were not successful in the 17th century. But right now, everyone's sedated. I don't take drugs. You are on sodium fluoride. Sodium fluoride is a salt that overrides your consciousness. And when I say consciousness, I mean your divine spirit, the one that is inside your body that can make all of the decisions of where you want to go intuitively. Most people just don't have that in them anymore. They don't have that intuition burst where they just go, no, I can't. I'm too strong. I'm going this way. Where are we? Where are we right now when we can't intuitively know? If you believe Trump is here to save the world, it's because you don't have intuition. And you hear me? I'm telling you, and I'm not saying that I am the holder and the be-all and end-all of the truth, but I'm telling you that it is absolute truth that if you believe that Trump might be here to save the world, you don't have access to your intuition. And I came to help you to get back to that point because I know spells and I know, call it programming, call it mind control. The only way you can do that is through spell casting. And very intimately, I've watched them spellcast in spellcraft. And do you know what my intention was from the beginning when I broke through everything and I saw everything? Was to come and get you all and to say, let's go this way. And I've helped so many people to get there. Like, I still get messages every day from people saying, like, just thanking me for, like, getting them the fuck out of the Trump train and getting them out of, like, some mess of any degree. And I don't take, like, glory for that. Like, I'm not here to, I'm not here to have a parade, the Atom Parade. I'm never here to have the Atom Show. Like, I'm here to just shake the fuck out of all of you and then let you go on your way. And it hurts. Do you know, it really hurts when you find out that your husband or your wife, the government, when you find out that your partner for life has been cheating on you the whole time. And I don't just mean like, I don't mean like, oh, these governments, they're so corrupt. I'll say it. I said it before. I'll say it again. It's not about money. It's not about power. It's not about control. It's not about any of this. It's about ritual. But what does that mean? Do you know where the Federal Reserve Bank policies came from? The Vatican. In the 16th century, Rome, the inner city, sovereign city of Rome, gave every citizen the opportunity in Rome to take a $10,000 loan. And guess how many people took it? Everyone, because they weren't told they had to pay it back. And do you know what everyone had to do? Everyone 2 years later was given a message saying they had to give the $16,000 back.
And so interest. And this is from the same empire that created indulgences. The Vatican that created the Federal Reserve Bank, way before this, created indulgences where you could pay an amount of money to be forgiven for your sins. Forgiven for your sins. So I'm not going to go into the Federal Reserve Bank and be like, man, I just ate some mushrooms and smoked the joint. Tell me what to do. Like, I'll give you 50 grand, forgiven. You still got access to the realms of heaven. This is the game they play. So what game do you think they're playing in 2021? In the middle of the ecclesiastical inquisition. So yeah, it's interesting times we're in. Birth certificates, I think, the greatest fraud ever committed against the mind of man. Someone just commented. It's a contract, so it's ritual. As long as your name is written into physical form, your eternal body will always stay trapped in this realm. And that's why they want everyone's names on paper, because it traps you here. And that's deep. That's not my opinion. That's what contract law is. That's where papal, the papacy of Rome it's the name of the Vatican. The name of the Vatican is the papacy, and paper contract comes from the papacy. When Caesar and all of the popes, they still do, when they came out and they announced on the papal bulletin, the papal bull, that was written on human child skin. So all of you people out there that are running around saying, they're pedophiles, the cabal, take down the cabal. You don't even know what the cabal is. The cabal's only been thrown around for like 3 or 4 years maximum. No one used that word. Like, any woke person I've ever met never used the word cabal. But we know what the Kabbalah is. Kabbalah. In Hebrew, the word Kabbalah means reception. Reception of the inner eye. So what's their game? Because while they're receiving all of the messages from the divine, we're all sitting at home visualizing the television. I wouldn't spend time with anybody. I've always said this, like, I wouldn't spend time with anybody that spends more than 30 seconds on television a day. Like, I'm talking about broadcast television. Broadcast television. Cast. Broad. Casting spells broad. Broadcast television. No, I don't. I've got things to do. Like, I don't have time to listen to people that just... Do you notice how, like, I can spend 1 minute with someone and I know how much time they spend watching the television, because all I hear is reverberation from that box, the black cube. So yeah, where we are in 2021, it's going to be a shit show. I'm not here to say love and light, and all of those love and light hippies and gurus out there, fuck off. Like, there is no space for you in the truth community. The truth movement is humanity. And so, yeah, we've got to keep the mind elevated. You're right. We do have to keep the mind elevated, and it's not through wishy-washy guru bullshit that we get there. So, yeah, I know black and white magic, because I want to know. I wanted to know how spells were casted. Yeah. I'm not really going to reply to that comment, Jeff, about who I share views with about Trump. Like, if you think that I'm connected to anybody directly and how I see the world, anyone on the Trump train is gone. And that's where you are intended to be. I'm not here to share views with those people. I am here as the inner savior of myself. So if you want to jump on the Trump train that train's going to fly straight past me and it's going the wrong way. And yeah, don't forget your trumpet because you're going to need it because there's no music to where you're going. So you definitely need that trumpet. Yeah, I didn't really want to reply to comments on here because I knew there'd be just like so much stuff coming in that would sidetrack me. But yeah, just Trump. I don't have time for that shit. I don't have time for Vatican trained operatives. It's what it's always and only ever been. So yeah, it's really unfortunate that like since I got banned from Facebook, I had multiple people messaging me telling me to start a Patreon, and I was just like, I heard about Patreon years ago and I was like, no fucking way, like I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do anything on there. And so I got fully locked down. I had people messaging me asking why I was charging $3 a month to do what I was doing, and it wasn't where I wanted to go. Like I didn't want to sit there and, hey man, have you got $3? Fuck off. No, that's not who I am. But where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go to cast your truth? Do you know how much the Baltimore Sun costs for a monthly membership in America? $20 a month for lies. So, for most people paying lies for 20 a month, I don't know where else I can do this for free where I'm not going to get shut down. It's just, yeah, such a shame that people see the truth as, anyways. So I've got really big things planned. I've got really, really big things planned for my future. And although things are going to be very strange, things in 2021 are going to be so strange. Build your own site, someone said. Someone just commented saying build your own site. I just built one and it's everything you'll ever need. reindeeramanita.com. Please go there. Please do yourself a favor and don't be scared. Isn't it funny? Isn't it hilarious that the most poisonous mushrooms in the world are available in all of your supermarkets, and like you eat them for dinner every week? And the most healing mushrooms on the planet, every single person has terrible things to think about it because, love you brother, love you Nick mate. Isn't it funny how the most poisonous mushrooms in the world, they poison your kidney and you die slowly? Everyone eats those mushrooms, those terrible, terrible mushrooms. And people see it as food. But the most healing medicines on the planet are feared by most of the world. reindeeramanita.com. Facebook took that out of my description. I put it on my description on Facebook about a week ago during my ban, and Facebook took it out. I put the website in my story. Facebook blocked me for the first time ever from stories sharing. Like, I'm not going to call it Facebook anymore. If you think Mark Zuckerberg created Facebook, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here and don't listen to anything I have to say because you aren't going to benefit from anything I have to say. If you think Bill Gates created Windows, get out, go. There's nothing I can do to help you. If you want to elevate yourself to the highest capacity, where are you going to go? Because it's only in here that the stories retain. And that's why all of the ancient cultures shared wisdom through storytelling. Because with wisdom, we remember it with the heart. You can't forget it. With information at university, you remember it with the head and it goes straight out. University. Uni, one, verse, spoken sentence, or the one song. When you go to university, all you're getting is that 1 degree. Because you're 1 degree out of 360 degrees. You're nothing. You've got nothing. And you're getting the one version of the truth. One version. How many people do you know? Like I've sat in microbiology, molecular biology, maths and chemistry lectures. Like I used to date a girl who was studying to be a doctor. And I'd just go and listen to her university lectures, and fuck, I fell asleep every time I went there. I didn't go there anymore. It was just all bullshit. I feel so sorry for these people that study at university. My passion is anatomy. My passion is the truth. My passion is anatomy, neurology, physiology, astrology. There's nothing separating us. We are the archangels. Arc. An arc in terms of electricity is when something that's grounded has connection with positive atmosphere. So like arc welding, archangels, we are the arc. We are the medium between the astrology and the meteorology. Call it whatever you will. All these names that we've given to things, it's not what we've done, but it's what they've done to us. There's hundreds and thousands. Yeah, there's hundreds of thousands of degrees. You can go to university and like you just have to pick which path you want to study. I study and I know all of the important things because what I learned from the mushroom, reindeeramanita.com, go to my website, see what I'm doing. I want to change the world, and it's the world that was changed in me. The fear. If you haven't seen the video I've done on the true origin of Christmas, we've got a question why we celebrate Santa Amanita without knowing what the origin is. So, I'm doing really well. I'm doing really, really well. What's happening in the world right now is theatrical. I don't see it as any more than theatre. Who Trump is, I don't see him as any more than an actor. And I too am an actor. I am here acting my role, living in the divine essence of doing everything I want to do. My only question to people when they ask me, like, I get a lot of people that message me and they're just not sure with what they want to do in life. And I say to all of these people, what do you want to do? And I'm not going to say like, well, why aren't you doing it? Fuck that. Where do you need to be? Are you with somebody that you aren't fully sure of? Go. Pack your bags. Think of how to exit that relationship. We don't have time for that. We never, from the day we came here, we did not have time to see if this relationship would work or not. If you don't feel it, go. If you are working somewhere that you're not sure if it's what you want to do, get out. Get out now. You need to leave your job right now. All we need is nature. And I'm not some fucking tree-hugging hippie that just walked out of the bush. Alright, I am. Isn't it funny how, look at the way we view things. Hippie, dirty hippie. Dirt is the most purest thing on the planet. Hippie comes from the word hep, which means wise and all-knowing. So thank you, because even mainstream Western paradigm science acknowledges that we come from the first density of the soil. All of the minerals that make up the human figure, every single mineral and element inside the human body comes from the first soil density on the earth. So are you really birthed out of your mum, or are we birthed into this world? Believe me when I say this is what the tribes all knew. I don't want to tell you what to believe. I want to take you to what the original people knew. The only thing I ever wanted to know was, what was it that the Vatican stole from every single culture on the planet? It's right here. It's right there. And you wonder why they put you through 12 years of school? Because there's 12 houses in the zodiac, so it takes that 12 years to channel out all of that influence from astrology that you no longer have received naturally. So we are divine, and when we die, we go up the vine, and they don't want you to know that. Do you know the original meaning of the two keys on the Vatican flag before they changed it in 1731? Guys, get this. the original meaning of the Vatican flag is not the key of St. Peter and the key of St. Paul. Well, my grandma said, no. The original meaning of the Vatican flag is the key to heaven and the key to this temporal plane, meaning that they hold the key and lock you down. So why do you think it's called a temple? And why do you think they're called Templars? Because they know that this is temporary. They know this is temporary. Move out of England. Do what you want. Love your sister. Go back to Africa. But don't forget that saying. They can take a man out of Africa, but they can't take Africa out of a man, because I was taken from the jungle, but they couldn't take the jungle from me. And even the stethoscope that white Western doctors use comes from Kemet, Egypt. Kemet, where chemistry comes from. There was a town, the original name for Egypt, Kemet, there was a town inside Kemet called El Kemet. And that was where alchemy was born from. So there's a difference between chemistry and alchemy, because all of those chemists out there, all of those pharmacologists that have their degree, their 1 degree, the 1 degree of separation that separates them from everything, they don't put their mind to the matter. They're not actual magicians. They're not sorcerers. And you came here to be a sorcerer. Got a link for that? You are the link. You are the link. Where's your sources? You are the source. You are the divine source connected to source. You are the sorcerer. How about that? So if you look at the original, fuck the periodic table of elements. Throw that in the bin. It's bullshit. Look at the alchemical chart. Look at the alchemy chart. There's way more things on the alchemy chart than there ever will be in Western chemistry. Like, where we've come to, periodic table of elements. It's only periodic. It's only here for a short amount of time. Guys, like, shit's really changed in the last 100 years. Now we have chemistry with the periodic table of elements. Now we've got electricity. Now we've got petrol cars. Now we've got mobile phones. And we've got the internet. This is not the first time in history that we had that, ever. And let's talk about Australia. Because I spent a lot of time in Australia. I spent time with the tribes. A lot of people. I lived in a lot of communities. And I've never stopped talking this talk. I've been talking this talk since I first popped up into this world. I was asking a lot of questions first, stayed in silent to receive the answers, and here I am in this time, needing to get the truth out. A lot of people asked me, where can I go? Where can I go to meet an elder so I can receive the truth? What people don't realize is when the missions were sent to every culture, the first question the tribes were asked was, where's your medicine man? And some people never gave up the medicine man because he was the shaman. He was the one that held all of the wisdom. And most of the medicine men got taken out. So they went to the medicine man and they killed them. And they stole all their information. They catalogued everything that they had to tell them, and it was all the same information. There's no difference between African herbalism and Chinese herbalism. Oh, I want to study Chinese medicine. It's the same doctrine as African medicine. It's the same doctrine as Australian original tribe medicine. Every single country in the world has spagyrics, or herbalism, herbcraft, the knowledge of the power plants. If you write up a chart and write down all of the names of the planets, all of the names of everything, trees, minerals, water, air, electricity, magnetism, alchemy. If you write all these words and go to Google Translator and write all the words down of all the different cultures' names for them, they're all the same phonetics. They are all similar words, because we all spoke the one language. We are all the children of the divine. And so, yeah, where are we? Where are we when we think that in Egypt they use the word alchemy, but in Australia they use the word el-kira, but it's a different thing? Hear the words. El-kiringa, el-kira. It's the two different words they used for alchemy in original Australia. Go to Egypt, it's alchemy. It's nothing different. We understand each other's truth, and we understand everything we needed to with the original knowledge. The origin, all. We all come from the origin of the one source. And you know what the word Genesis means? Genesis is the creation story of the magician's book. Genesis, gene of Isis, because Isis, the moon, controls all of our genetics. And do you ever wonder why the history of ritual has been on certain lunar phases? Because the way that the moon works is she pulls and she takes your message. When you give her your signal, what you need, she pulls it and she manifests it through the 7 planets, the 7 musical tones, and she manipulates it. And do you know the sun? He's Ra. He brings it out. He makes everything physical. And that's why we give thank you to Ra, because he is the one who manifests the physical realm. Plants don't grow because, they just grow. Like millions of years ago, do you know when you go on any bushwalk path, anywhere in nature, and there's that big sign, steel sign, you can't kick it down. There's that sign and it says millions of years ago, and then that's been scratched out so you can't see it anymore. That's me. I was the guy who did that. There's so many people that do that. There is no millions of years ago. The sun is not going to explode tomorrow at all, period. The sun is a transformer. It transforms information from another dimension, and you think it's a spherical ball that just burns, and it's going to maybe explode tomorrow because the Vatican told you so. That's the truth. No. You need to go out there and you need to apologize for being such a fool, because my mum gave birth to me because tomorrow she's going to stab me, maybe, possibly. Go and apologize, because that's ridiculous. What the fuck is wrong with that? Something's so wrong with that. So, yeah. What else can I say? When I got put on my live, I got this notification, you are banned from doing a live video for 30 days. I was like, I've never fucking done a live video in my life. Why are you banning me from doing a live video? I was never going to do a live video. And then the countdown began, and I can't do anything on Facebook. Can't do shit on Facebook. Can't even like a comment. Can't do shit. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a live video because why not? What do you think about interdimensional beings? We are interdimensional beings. If you believe in the grey physiology, if you think, are you really thinking? If you believe that there's life on other planets, get out of here. Because that is the lie of the serpent of old. Serpent knowledge is Vatican. Vatican means divining serpent. And that's what the word means. The word Vaticanus means divining serpent. And in the Bible, it actually says, beware of the divining serpent. They wrote that book. That's the book the magicians wrote. Rome fell in early 400s. Rome fell. There's no more Roman Empire. 22 years later, the Bible's written. Fuck, what a coincidence. What a coincidence that Rome fell. How Rome fell. Turn on the History Channel. Knight of Malta owned History Channel. Vatican owned History Channel. Look at the symbol of the History Channel. It's the Roman pillars with the Roman apex on the H. How Rome fell. When Rome fell. They're just bombing people and Nazi Germany. How Nazi Germany went down. What do I think about sunscreen? Sun cream? Anyone who uses sun cream, drink it. Drink the sun cream. Drink the sunscreen. If you wear sunglasses, that vibration of light that goes into the optic nerve, that connects straight to your nervous system, that's what gives us the information that we receive in our waking state. What do I think of sun cream? That's a good question because, I mean, if you sit in the sun for 3 hours and you burn, like maybe you could put some cream on your skin because, you know, it would just help you. Like, don't fucking sit in the sun for 3 hours. Get as much as you need and you will know when, like, you know, that skin that starts to feel like it's burning, it's time to go away from the sun. We're not meant to be in 24/7 sun. The whole entire world was silhouetted by forests. All of it. There was nowhere that was land that didn't have trees. And isn't it funny? Get this one, guys. This is a big one. This is a really big one. Before at the start of this video, I was talking about how most people believe that most of the lakes in the world are natural water bodies, and no, like they're all bombed. Like most of them are fucking bombed, and that's where the ancient cultures were. Like, how do you think the American Indians and the Australian originals, how do you think they were cleared off their land? How do you think the Siberia bombing was only in the last century, and they fucking detonated the entire forest, and apparently they only found like fucking 80 million reindeers? Fuck no. They bombed the fuck out of it. And so if you think that Half Moon Bay is not an atomic bomb detonation, no, you're wrong. One thing I'm so passionate about is following up these informations because nothing can take me from the truth. I don't care about anything other than the truth because, like, look in my eyes. Like, there's no fear in my life. There's no fear in my life. Like, I'm blessed to live my life, and I do not subscribe to any bullshit. Look how I look. Like, I look all right for, 34 years old. Like, I'm a third of the way dead if I consider 100 years of life. I always get told I look young because I don't live my life in fear. Like, I don't live my life in fear. I get helicopters. Anytime I've ever written about the Jesuits, I get helicopters above my house. And what do you think they wrote movies about the Bourne Ultimatum about? What do you think these movies are about? They put in the Hollywood movies that if you speak the truth, we will fuck you up. But they use fear tactics. I've been followed around and I'm not scared of these guys. Like, one night when I was at a club when I was 20, I was talking about Masons being like the babies of the occult. Like, just no manners, no manners. They're not men. They're not men. Like, you go to the Masonic lodge to lodge your soul because you give it to them. Like, if you walk into a Masonic lodge, just have a look around. Ask if you can see the library. Anyone can go in there. If you say to them, I want to join the lodge, the first question that they ask you is, if you say you want to join the lodge, the first question they ask you is, and what do you have to bring to the lodge? What do you have to bring to the lodge? Because they're going to take it. I have an audience of about 10,000 people. Great, we can work with that. We'll fucking use it and we'll use you. Do you know how lost people are? They will take it. They will take that. And someone just commented, I know they have the technology to create the climate, to create earthquakes and the ice age, but I'll be happy to hear your opinion. So, let's talk about Australia, because ever since the atomic bombings, Oh, did you hear about the Maralinga bombing? They bloody tested an atomic bomb in Australia. Fuck no, they didn't. The British military has a book on 60 plus atomic bomb detonations across the whole country of Australia. So what an atomic bomb is we live in the atmosphere. Atom, atmos. They're anagrams of each other because the atmosphere is the atom sphere. It's made up of atoms. So are we. That's why we're so dearly connected to astrology, because we've got the food chain right now, which has like the cycle of life, and we're at the top. No, this scale naturae in Latin was the soil to the stars, and it showed the chain connected to all of it. But back to the weather question, if you look at Australia's hottest day, it was right after the atomic bomb detonations, and then we've had like just not many places in Australia see snow. So not many places in Australia anymore see the natural seasons, because they're not just using atomic bomb detonations to clear out countries, they're using it to manipulate the weather. Because we are the weather. Look at the word weather. We at her. We are at her. We are with her, and we are her. We are the land. And when you do something to the land, you do something to us directly. We are directly affected by the land, by the ether. Ether, you believe it or not. So we are without knowledge of how much atomic bomb detonations have to do with weather. So, yeah, like I'm not going to sit here and do a whole video on weather control, because go to weathermodificationhistory.com, or sorry, weathermodificationhistory.org. There's over 1,000 front page newspaper articles on not, we are looking into doing weather modification. No, fucking wake up. This was like when they told us this is when we're doing it. We're doing it. Like we can make rain where it doesn't rain. So why do you think there's drought in Australia? Because they're fucking the farmers. Because they're trying to destroy the food chain. Why do you think every single cyclone that happens in Australia that desolates the land wipes out all of the bananas of the world? Like, where does the world get their bananas from? So one of the main agendas right now is the control of food and the absolute demolition of food. Because what they are about to do is they're about to take full control of the world food. They're about to collapse the economy, and then they say, well, you don't have money and you don't have food, so do you want the vaccination? And you can have it. You can have food. You can have money. Do we see where they're going? It's pretty, it's like right there. Every single movie they ever made in Roman Catholic Hollywood told us, like they are not allowed to, they're not allowed to perform their ritual without due consent, meaning they have to tell us what they do before they do it. When you drive down the street and you see the billboard that says tsunami coming, and it's just an ad for perfume, they have to tell you what they do before they do it. They always have to tell you what they do before they do it, because it's in their modus operandi. It's how they need to perform ritual. Like they tell you that church is on Sunday. They have to tell you, like they tell you. And so, yeah, with Australia, like you go to Melbourne and it's the only place in the world that I could ever think of where on a 40-degree day, everyone's carrying a jacket ready for 0 degrees, because at any moment that temperature could drop. And they want us under the control of the weather. One thing that they will be doing a lot of, if you go to Google, I've been doing this for more than a decade, go to Google News, click on that tab and type in flood, and scroll. Look at all of the cities, not just like the flood going through the main street. Look at all the cities underwater in the world right now. Delete the word flood. Type in the word any cataclysmic event. tornado. Look at, like, do you really think that nature creates tornadoes? Wake up. Do you remember that game, The Sims, where you build the city and then you like have so many people living there, you just need to build hospitals. And then you build all these hospitals and then you need to build more apartments. And you just keep fucking building up this society. And then what do? You got the button. You can select tsunami. You can select locust plague. Who do you think brings the locust plagues? You think that 1 trillion bugs just fly onto the food crops and destroy everything? Wake up. Like, this world is divine. Like, this world is wholesome and divine. And what they're doing to it is what they're doing to us. And Trump is not here to save your life. Trump is not here to save your life. Trump is another one of them. JFK was one of them. JFK was not assassinated. Albert Einstein wasn't a hero. Stephen Hawking's. Do you know who created the device that Stephen Hawking talks on? NASA. Guys, how I created the universe? No. Come on. He figured out the whole universe but can't get out of a wheelchair? I'm sorry, but like, it's the truth. You believe that this guy that's just rolled out on stage and tells us how the universe was created and what the future's going to be. We need to wake up, because this is fucking sick magic craft. Real wicked magic craft. And yeah, it's nothing that I'm asleep to. Like, I didn't just wake up in 2012 and go, oh my god, Stephen Hawking's isn't a fucking... It's just a set of wheels with a vocal speech, and they can make him say anything they want him to say. And you know what everyone says? Like, this guy's like got the truth. They did the same thing with fucking Einstein. Albert Einstein said that the quickest way from point A to point B is through a zigzag motion. And from what I've read, everyone was just flabbergasted and like, wow, Einstein speaks again. Oh, it's like, I'm going to drive in a zigzag to the shops because I'll get there quicker. No. It's all spells, all casting magic. So, yeah. I'm not here to cast spells on anybody, but I do understand magic craft and I know how to break people out of spells. So, if you want to be free from your spell, go to your inner world. Go to yourself. Don't rely on anybody. Don't rely on anybody to take you. Don't rely on me. I'm only a modality. I'm just another one of you walking around saying, guys, this way. Not that way, not that way. Just fucking go. Get out of there. Because it's dangerous. It's dangerous to not live in the truth. And yeah, you're right. You're right. Nikola Tesla is a fraud. Oh, Nikola Tesla, he figured out how to wrap a coil around a magnet, and he shot an energy field across the sea from Canada to China, but the ocean soaked up all the waves. So Nikola Tesla figured out how to shoot radioactive beams up to the ionosphere and store them there, and boom, throw that 60 gigahertz down and create an earthquake. If you think Nikola Tesla was a hero, some guy just wanted to have an argument with me on Facebook. He wanted to know what I think of Tesla. I said fraud, and then he sent me this whole thing of how much he wasn't a fraud. I don't have time for that shit. I don't have time to explain to people that everybody is not who you think they are. If you think Nikola Tesla was working for Thomas Edison at RCA factory, and he was just another Eric Dollard. Eric Dollard, if you haven't seen his work, get onto Eric Dollard, because like, I've got Aaron McNamara on Facebook, and I've talked to him a few times, and he brought all of Eric Dollard's work out to the world. Eric Dollard worked with Tesla. Eric Dollard worked in the same factory as Nikola Tesla with Edison, and Dollard talked about radio frequency extravaganza, where we are today. He explained, I don't give a fuck what you have to say about 5G. I couldn't give a fuck what any of you have to say about any of that. If you don't understand magnetism and electricity, you shouldn't be making a comment. You shouldn't be saying anything at all. If you've just read 1,000 articles on 5G scalar wave technology and it like just resonates with you, don't come out with your opinion. Because one of the most beautiful things that you can study is electricity and magnetism and the divine element of where we are and who we came to be. So Eric Dollard, they destroyed all of his factories. He created a device that sang harmonics down into the earth. So it was actually a registering computer, and it could register the vibrations that came up from the earth. And that's correct, Tom. That's how you spell Eric Dollard. He's a hero. He created an earthquake machine where his registry machine could hear the resonance coming up from the earth, from the vibrations, and he could beam music. Everything is sound, everything is music. He could beam music of a certain pitch into that vibration, and it dissipated the earthquake from coming. So why do you think all of his information was taken away and stolen? Eric Dollard said that 5G scalar wave on the Navy ships, what the Russian military would do is they would send the boats up to the shores of their enemy's country, and they would send one wave, a pulse wave of 60 gigahertz, which is 5G. Sent one pulse wave of 60 gigahertz. One wave, just a pulse. 5G is continuous wave of 60 gigahertz, continual waves. So with these waves, with one of those waves, according to Eric Dollard, he is the be-all and end-all when it comes to electricity. Watch his documentary on YouTube, The History and Theory of Electricity. There is nobody any of you should be going to for the understanding of electricity more than Eric Dollard, because he knows way more beyond Tesla. Tesla was a sham. Oh, but Tesla ended up living on the streets because he was poor and he fed the pigeons. I've seen photos of him feeding the pigeons. Get out. Just think about what you're seeing and whether it's authentic or not. Elon Musk is not a hero. Elon Musk is a front man. And he's an actor. So Dollard only did what shamans do. That's right. Like the Siberian word, where I live now in Lithuania, Siberians were everywhere. Like it was all one landmass of Tartaria. And so the Siberian word for shaman means one who walks with a foot in both worlds. Because they have the Amanita, and it takes them to the other world where they bring their information back from. Why do you think there's art depicted on the pyramids all around the planet? Inside the pyramid. Because inside our temple, that's in a pyramid. The word pyramid, pyre, means fire. Amid means center. Pyramid means energy, fire center. Energy center. Fire is energy. So the reason why there's art depicted on the temples of every country of the world is because when you take the mushroom, when you come back from that realm and you've learned all of the things that you asked, that's right, you ask what you want to learn and it brings back the knowledge for you of anything you want to learn about. If you want to learn about everyone in your family and their truth, you take the substance, you go inward, and you come out with all the information. Why do you think there's art in all the pyramids of the world? Because when you come out of this realm, the interdimensional realm of wisdom, the death realm, whatever you want to call it, the DMT world, dream time, you can't bring anything physical back. So they put it on the walls of the temples. And that's why all of the depicted deities, they are not gods. We were all taught in history that all of these statues in Kemet or Egypt or India, all these people were gods that they worshipped. No, they weren't. They were representations of certain aspects of the all. So, yeah, I feel that if we stop eating all of the poisonous food that they put into the supermarket for us, I don't have time to do gardening. I've only got 4 hours a day to sit down and watch television. Turn it off. Turn that fucking shit off and go grow food because you need it. And it's not about just growing it and eating it. That connection, there is something scientific that occurs when you connect with the plant, because the plant has an energy center. If you pull out a root system of a tree and you look at the shape of a tree, it's the torus field. It's the same shape as an aura. Root, tree, they're an auric field. The sun grows the outer body of the plant. The moon grows the roots of the trees. Everything on the land grows from the sun. Everything below the ocean grows from the moon. That's why when you have an aquarium in your house, you have to have a blue light that replicates the moon, because the moon grows the coral. And it's all of the astrology that comes together to... It's all of the astrology that comes together to form alchemy. So if you want to come to your highest spirit, don't be scared of what they told you to be scared of. Don't be scared of all of the beautiful things. Oh, you shouldn't live so big you shouldn't live so close to those big trees. They could fall on you. I think a tree's just gonna fucking fall on you because you are you? No. Don't be scared of getting your hands dirty. Every single person that I know that is not all there in the head, they do not garden. Every single person I know that doesn't garden, they're all depressed as fuck. They are all psychos. And all I'm saying is that in electricity, I was talking in the earlier start of the video about us being archangels. We are the mediums between astrology and meteorology, the heaven and the earth. And we are this body of electric current. That's why we have a right and left foot, because one's positive, the other's negative. And if you just have one foot on the ground, you're not a complete circuit. Do you know, if you want to not get electrocuted and you want to pull something out of the wall, you use rubber or you use wood because it's non-conductive. So what do you think rubber shoes do, and what do you think it's called a shoe? Shoe. You're shoeing your natural ability. And what are they on? Your heel and your soul, because the only way you can heal your soul is through the complete circuit. So the circuit is us. And if you wear shoes, take them off. Just take them off. And I'm not going to sit here and do another hour of like how to ground, but you are an electric circuit and you need to be completed. So yeah, just some countries of the world have this really big stigma around, oh, you're not wearing shoes. Like, do you know, my whole life, I always got looked at. Like people, they'd look at my feet, they'd look at my eyes, and they'd look at my feet again. And I knew what they were thinking. I knew what they were thinking. It's their programming. And do you know what I'd always say to them? Like I'd create this theatrical right in front of them. I'd say like, do you like my new shoes? These are my shoes. And I'd just start marching down the street and I'd watch them and they'd be like, fuck, this guy's crazy. But I'm actually just tapping into them to show them how crazy they are. I'm not scared of them. I'm not scared of their programming. And the more you tap into it in people, the more the easier they can become free. I'm not here to say like, so you think the vaccination's good for you? I'm here to say you're a fucking idiot. You need to wake the fuck up, and you have no idea where vaccinations even came from. You have no idea where AIDS even came from in Africa. I can guarantee you guys I'm going to get banned from Facebook for doing this video, because I've just unleashed so many bombs on here that I really didn't even want to talk about in my posts, but I don't believe my shadow ban's ever going to be lifted on Facebook. Oh, geez, he got the vaccination and then he died. Well, we just didn't get him on time. We just didn't get him on time. Hello, do you get it? Do you get what I'm putting down? Are you getting what they're putting down? They're putting us down. They're putting us down. And we need to Drink tea from the pot. Because I couldn't be fucked getting a cup. Forget the program. Do whatever you want, guys. Step outside the box. You know? Take your shoes off. Fucking throw them in the fire. Watch them burn. Oh no, you'll poison the atmosphere. Global warming. Oh. Do you really believe that nature is not so strong that she can overcome everything? Do you know the Earth breathes in and out once every year? The more shit you put into the atmosphere, the bigger the breath and the bigger the intake of the breath. And that's how she is. She's alive. And she is stronger than you. And you need some fucking United Nations to come along and tell you, like, anything. Like, they're the greatest collaboration on statistics in the world. And you want to believe anything they say? A big les show. I don't even know what the fuck that means. But yeah, like, guys, if we don't all turn vegan, the world's going to end in 40 years. Fuck off. Like, wake up. Stop repeating things that you've been told. Think about it and then expel it. Yeah, this is probably my last ever video on Facebook. I don't have any business here. Every single video I post on Facebook is gone. Like, I don't get any joy out of posting a video on Facebook and getting 3 reactions anymore. Like, my Facebook days are over. My shadow ban is never going to be lifted, especially after this video. I don't even know how long I'll be on Patreon for, because guys, I got a baby coming any day now. And I don't feel like I'm going to be a father. I feel like I'm a father. I feel like, but don't you think the world, like, it's overpopulated? Don't you think that, what do you want to bring a kid into this fucked up world for? Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Because you're not actually authentic when you speak. You're actually just saying what they told you to believe. And the world's overpopulated. There was more people, listen to what I say here, there was more people on the planet 500 years ago than what there is now. Figure that one out. Because, but how the fuck did they live without electricity? Everyone had free electricity. What do you think the cathedrals are? They're cathodes, and they are all positive conducting and harnessing energy generators. And you think Tesla just created this Tesla coil and went, pew, shut up 60 gigahertz into the ionosphere, and wow, we can store things in the cloud. No, this is ancient knowledge. When they wiped out Tartaria, why do you think there's star forts? Check this one out, guys. Why do you look up star forts? Have you ever seen star forts? If you look up star fort, type in America. The Statue of Liberty is built on a star fort. Look up what the Statue of Liberty was built on. And then look up what statue was out the front of the Colosseum in Rome. It was the Statue of Liberty. But it wasn't known as the Statue of Liberty. It was known as Nero. Because it wasn't called the Colosseum. The Roman Colosseum wasn't called the Colosseum. It was called the Colossus of Nero. When you look at the topographical view and you see out to the main road and there's that big concrete square, that's where the fucking Statue of Liberty stood. And they took her to all different empires because Babylon is in New York City. And it's a big energy generator, all right, guys? It's a big energy generator. Why do you think Manhattan is known as the Battery? Why do they call Manhattan the Battery? Because Battery Park. It's a fucking huge energy conductor. It's New York City, Old Amsterdam they used to call it. And you think that all of those towers, all of those high rises, you think they were all built at the start of the 1900s? The Spanish flu wiped out 50% of the world. 1900, 1918. And everyone, like, no one talks about that. No one talks about the Spanish flu wiping out most of the world's population. You know when the Black Plague was? The Black Plague was 10 years after the King of Spain ordered every Knights Templar to be executed. That Black Plague was the revenge of the Pope. He wiped out most of Europe. And we all got back up and we're like, fuck. I just want to like grow an apple tree and live my life. And we just want freedom. Do you know Europe? I was just saying how what's happening in Washington, D.C. at the moment. 30,000 troops. Who do you fucking think's going to go protest with 30,000 troops? Like, if someone wants to go and protest and meet up with 30,000 armed troops, like, they deserve whatever they get. Like, I don't know what to say about that. But I was just saying how big things are coming. How Colombia is another name for ISIS. And Europa. Look it up, guys. History. Europa is another name for ISIS as well. So where we are right now, everything's named after ISIS. And we have the ISIS terror storm. Like, these guys fucking blew up the city and, oh my god, they fucking just psychos. And we need to go into Damascus and put the biggest bomb ever in history, ever known, to just blow up the tunnel in Damascus. If you think Donald Trump's a hero, what's he doing fucking blowing up the mother of all bombs, the Moab in Damascus? You fucking idiot. Wake up. Donald Trump's not here to save you. And I say this from my heart. I'm not actually like, angry or anything. I'm ashamed that you didn't crawl out of the hole that was on fire when there was just a fucking ladder right there. It's not hard. It's just so easy, So, yeah, where do we go? Well, where are you? Are you there? I had someone who I've been talking to quite a bit lately. Never met him personally. I just love his energy. He's such a good guy. He messaged me and he's like, hey man, what do you think of this? I wrote to my friends to wake them up about Trump. I'm like, man, you need to leave them behind and you need to go focus on your life. You need to focus on your life. And that's what I'm doing, guys. Like, I'm fucking focusing on my life. I'm not going to sit here on Facebook every day. Like, I know when I post on Facebook, people like think, fuck, like, does this guy ever sleep? Like, how does he sleep at night? Guys, when I go to sleep, I fucking sleep so good. My dreams are amazing and I just love my life. Like, I'm connected. Like, I've got my garden. I've got all the magic mushrooms that I need. reindeeramanita.com. Facebook took it down out of my description for my jobs. Go to reindeeramanita.com and connect to the divine. I can't really fucking make it more clear, guys. Nature is there for us. And like, my business, I'm starting up a permaculture farm. Like, I mean, the sun could explode tomorrow and we could all die, but I'm setting up a permaculture farm. I'm channeling every dollar I can into that. And I'm starting a community. It's not the first community I've started, but this is going to be my first own community. And I want to have people there. I want people to come. I want people that, not people who are just trying to run from the chaos. I want people who have, done the inner work, who are, like, come with a bit of chaos. We all do. But I want people who just want the best for everybody. And I can tell just by looking in your eyes whether you want the best for everybody or not. So I want people to come to our community and I want people to feel safe there. And I don't have a time frame that people have to leave the community because I've got beautiful things planned. If I showed you all the seeds that I've got, you'd be like, you wouldn't believe it. Like, we just got 17,500 seeds arrive of one type of edible, and I'm not here to fuck around. Like, I'm here to do big things, and I'm here to invite people who want to come and do big things, who are sick of the normal world. Come and live and be free, and come to Lithuania and experience minus 25 degrees cold. Fuck, guys, I'm telling you, like, I've spent my whole life in Australia. I've never had -4. Like, I've had -4, but I've never had anything colder. the last few days have been -25, but we get the real seasons here. This is how like every country should be. Like every country should be like extreme lows and extreme highs, like the real four seasons. And because of all these atomic bomb detonations, they've changed the atmosphere. They've changed how. Yeah, you're not getting vaccinated to get there. Well, I came here 6 months ago, brother, and I didn't need to get vaccinated. I didn't even get a fucking COVID test to come here, and I wouldn't take it. It's another conversation for another day, but there's a way around everything. There's a way around everything. So what do you want to do? Do you want to sit in suburbia and watch all your neighbours ring up the police and call the police that you're breaking curfew, and everybody knows someone who lives on land? Just go out to land. Go out and have your cold shower in the fucking jungle. Don't be scared of leeches. They don't kill you. Don't be scared of cockroaches. They're actually really intimate creatures. Like, there's nothing in the animal kingdom that wants to kill you. Like, there's nothing in the animal kingdom that wants to fucking hurt you. This is what we're programmed with. Like, if you go to the jungle, you could fucking die. Like, you could get taken away. Photoshop works great. I don't know what that means. Just gonna keep rolling. Yeah, so I don't know, like, how else, like, I knew that there was a possibility I'd get some people on here to see me talking, because I don't know what the algorithms are with my ban on Facebook, but every time I put something out, like, I got fucking banned from everything. I got banned from everything on Facebook because I posted that we're in the Inquisition. Hello, we're in the Inquisition. It's true. Like, I'm not just saying it. I'm not just like speaking in stories. Like, we are in the middle of the ecclesiastical inquisition, and all of the things are distractions for now, and they'll take them all away. So, yeah. What else can I say? reindeerarmanita.com. Go to my website. Get something good in your life. Like, see the inner world for what it should be seen as. I can't say too much about it because I can only sell it for external use. Wink, wink. If you haven't watched my video, The True Origin of Christmas, you need to do it. Why are people naturally scared of spiders? Ask the shaman, Angeline. Ask any shaman what any culture would do with spiders. They are the most interactive animals in the world. And, like, I could swear that every culture on the planet has the same belief principles with spiders. They know where everything is at every moment. I was reading a book written by a shaman one day, not just like your, new age shaman. It's all old, ancient wisdom. It's not new age. He was talking about the medicine of the spider, and he was saying, like, if you lose your car keys and you don't know where your car keys are, you could ask the spider and it will point to where your car keys are. And, like, that sounds fucking crazy, but go and, like, communicate with the spider. Don't just stare there and look at it and be like, wow, you're hairy-legged. Like, if someone came up to me and spoke to me like that, I wouldn't appreciate it. Like, I'm a connected being. Like, I just want to be, like, conversed with. Chris, I didn't finish my thought about the Russians and their 5G pulse. I actually did. I was saying that they were using 60 gigahertz bandwidth, and they were going up to the ocean shores with what we call 5G today, and they were sending out a single pulse wave. And that pulse wave they're using in continuous wave today. But one pulse wave, they were actually using them in the aircrafts also. And that pulse wave, they would sweep the Navy aircraft carriers and every single person on that ship would drop to the ground, or they would like have some sort of a spasm where they became unable to control their body, and then the enemy could attack. So yeah, Eric Dollard, the real Tesla, he said that you know, he said that we're in like the radio frequency extravaganza, and he's right. Like we're not living in like, you know, a wave. Like we're living in waves. Everything is waves. But with the 5G waves, the actual the measurements of the in between waves that they're using in the millimeter wave form is the exact same waves that the Russians were using to sweep people off their feet. Hence why 5G, if you look up what a 5G tower looks like, it's actually called a Gwen tower. And Gwen is a military item, and it's an acronym for Ground Wave Emergency Network. Where's the emergency? So why do we have 5G? It's crowd control technology. So yeah, they were using 5G in the women's right activism and black rights activism in America. They were just knocking people off their feet so the soldiers could go in and take over them. Anyways, I'm heading out of here. I don't really have much else to say. Maybe I'll do another live video in the future. Much love to everybody. And yeah, I hope you all got something out of this. I just wanted to say that if you're on the Trump train, it's not looking good for you. No one's your savior. You're not. If you're looking for a savior outside of yourself, you're likely not worthy to be saved, because only you can be saved by yourself. So yeah, I never thought I'd be doing a live video. Like I don't have the courage for that. However, it's the only thing I can do on Facebook, and I fucking miss you all. I love talking to every single one of you. I don't like do what I'm doing because it makes me feel good. I do it because it's the right thing to do. And if anyone ever takes me off the path of doing the right thing, I'm not going to like just walk around them. Like I'll fucking wipe them off my path and keep moving through truth. And I hope that they watch me and they look at me and go, fuck, I want to go on that path. I don't want to walk with all of this. Come. I love you guys. Like I love you all so much, and I don't know, like I feel like being booted off Facebook is meant to be, because yeah, I've got like so much to do. Like we just purchased a really beautiful land by the river in Lithuania, and we've got really big things planned. Got a baby on the way. Like I can't believe it. Never thought I'd like be a dad in the middle of a war. Like it's just such a fucking blessing. Like I've got a little one of me coming. It's going to be amazing. I'm so excited. Yeah, I really like, I don't have anything else to look forward to other than that, because that's all I'm really looking forward to. Like I really look forward to raising a little one, and now is the time like to bring the wisdom back. And like, you know, we need to like not be scared of having children because the world's fucked. We need to like raise them in a way where everything just works for us. You can't just quit humanity. You can't just like press the stop button. Life is like divine. And we're going through astrological events right now where they don't want us to feel the influence of what we're meant to be feeling. So they subvert us, and I don't want you guys to be subverted. And I spent years collecting all of you, like my favorite little pieces on this chessboard. Like I don't have a fucking page where like 1 million people follow me. Like that's way too dangerous. Like way too dangerous. And I don't have the balls for that shit. But I'm not scared. But yeah, like my block list on Facebook is around about 500 people, because as soon as someone talks one bit of shit to me, I block them. I don't have time for that. And I just want you all to know that like I feel like I know who all of you are. Like like I go through my Facebook friends and I message so many people being like, come on my Patreon because I fucking got nowhere else to like talk about this stuff and it's really important to talk about. But I've like gone through every one of, I swear I messaged every one of you. And yeah, like there wasn't really anyone that I was like, who the fuck's that? Like I really feel like, I don't know, like I never wanted to get off Facebook because, tell me more about spiders. Maybe another day. But yeah, I never wanted to get off Facebook because I feel like it's just like the best phone book I could ever ask for. And originally, we were all connected. And I heard this from an elder. I heard this from an elder of Australia last year. He told me that, like, he said, like, where do you think you get your Wi-Fi from? Where do you think the mobile phone technology comes from? This is like a replication of what we already had. And he wasn't just talking some whack shit. He knew where this technology comes from. Like, I know originally we were all connected by thought. Isn't it funny that when you've never heard a word before in your life, you'll hear it and be like, fuck, I've never heard of that word before. And then that day or the next day or probably the day after, you hear that word and you just don't stop hearing that word. That's how connected we are. We're so connected that, like, if I think of someone right now in particular, they're probably going to message me or call me. That's just how connected we are. And that's why they give us Facebook and all these mediocre sites, because they want us to go through the external way of connection rather than going to the real Wi-Fi. We are divine. And yeah, just want you all to know that I fucking love you all heaps. And yeah, I don't, like, if I post anything, like, I don't feel like there's a point anymore on here. I'm not sad about it. I got so much coming into my future. But yeah, if any of you pass through Lithuania, it's my new home and I'm going to make the most of it here. I'm really excited about it. There's probably not any of you that I wouldn't accept here. So come and get your hands dirty. Don't be weird. Don't be fucking weird. Get your hands dirty. And be that filthy animal that you came here to be. Get your hands dirty and connect to the earth. The only way out is in. And what is the opposite to within? Without. Because if you don't go within, you go without. Don't let them tell you otherwise. Don't fucking let them tell you that China's going to go to Mars, because they're not. Because you can't go out. You can only go in. Love you all, guys. Love you all fucking heaps. Heaps. Sorry for swearing. It's part of me. I love it. 2021. Let's get this done. And yeah, love you all. How the fuck do I hang up?